Welcome to Cross Yoga. My name is Ria. My aim with this channel, these videos that I do here, is to help you feel at home and maybe find home in body, soul and mind. I teach Cross Yoga on Christian spirituality, and you are welcome no matter religious beliefs. Today's going to be a somewhat slow class that I hope you can maybe watch a few times whenever you feel like it's time to make your way home in one way or the other. I'll invite you to start seated. If you're really tired or stressed or something, just come down on the mat and do the postures, or don't do all the postures I show you here. That's completely up to you. Make it your class. When you're ready, you can take one hand on your chest and one on your belly, and then we'll begin by a little bit of breathing. Try to relax your shoulders as you rest your hand. And maybe with those hands on your chest and on your belly, invite yourself back home. As you breathe, you can feel your hands moving on your belly and your chest. And either continue with your hands on your chest or your belly, or make your hands into a prayer pose here in front of your chest. And maybe you want to close your eyes, maybe you just look forward. I'll pray, and you can listen or you can pray along as you can do it. God, I pray that you will help us to find home. Home in our souls. Home in our emotions, so they are not taking us astray or guiding us the wrong path. And bring our thoughts at ease back home, knowing that we are secured, we're safe in your love and in your grace. If you have anything else you want to pray about or mention or think about, now it's the time. I'll be quiet for just a moment more. As it is on video, you might choose to pause in between some of the postures if you feel like doing that. So again, make this video yours. You're probably doing this at home, in your own home. So find the comfort in that. And And then get yourself into tabletop. Knees underneath your hip, hands underneath your shoulders. And then let's do a few cat-cows. So you'll take your spine up towards the chest and chin towards the chest, and then the opposite direction. Navel down, nose up. Go slow. And find some ease in this small movement that is great for our spines, our shoulders. And then you might find child's pose, get some more distance in between your knees and your hands further to the front. Let your hips sink back towards the heels. And either just stay here, or you're welcome to find your down dog if you want to move quickly or move a little bit more than I cue here. 2 big breaths. After that, downward facing dog. So you tuck your toes under. Keep the knees bended as you lift your hip up and back. Kind of make your chest, your head drop in between your arms. Pull the shoulder blades back so you don't have your ears up towards your shoulders up towards your ears. And then you can paddle or walk your feet. Move your hip. And remember to breathe. If downward facing dog, the few times that we're here, does not really work for you, tabletop that we were just in, down on your knees, could be another variation. Bring your feet to the top of the mat and get some distance in between the feet here, and fold forward with the legs somewhat bended. Nod your head, yes and no. So sometimes when we don't feel at home, it's due to us maybe being too much in our minds, in our heads. So today I want to, yoke body and mind as we breathe and move. And first we're going to go up with the navel in and standing in mountain pose. And you'll stay put on the mat. I'll just turn for the sake of the video. And then you're going to bring your arms up overhead. Maybe you inhale. And bring them down. I have some more distance in between my feet than normal. Fold forward. Bending the knees. Reach up. Inhale. Mountain or high mountain. Exhale again. Fold forward. Inhale. Reach up. Engage the core, your abdomen, to support the back when you go down and up. Idea is to create a little bit of heat in the body before we slow down. Last time up and last time down in your forward fold. Let your fingertips reach down and step the right leg to the back end of the mat. Now I'm slowing things down. You might take a shorter stance in between the feet. Look forward and slowly find what we call high lunge or crescent lunge. You're going to bring your arms up overhead. Pull the knee joint there in front of or on top of your ankle. I'm going to stay here and just breathe. And sometimes when we are a lot in our minds, our heads, noticing what's going on in the body, the sensations that you might start to feel in your front leg, the stretch in the hip flexors on the back leg, might be what actually does the trick to bring yourself a bit more present. we're going to go for a twist, and you might use a block. The front hand here will be the right hand. So you're going to put that down aligned with the front foot and reach the left arm up. So if the floor is far away, you might have a block underneath your right hand here. Let the hips sink down without really holding on. Just let the gravity kind of pull you down. The arm that's on top, bring it down on the outside of the front foot. You're going to pivot the back foot around so the toes point out towards the right side. Now we're going to try to stretch the front leg. So as you see, I can't reach the floor if I do this. We're going to try to stack the right shoulder on top of the left. So you might take a hold, you stay put, take a hold of the shoulder and kind of move it on top. And then you might also move that hand on the thigh of the shin a little bit further up so the pelvis or the butt is not sticking out. Triangle pose. Maybe you feel a stretch in the side that is up towards the sky. And then warrior two. So bending the front knee again over the ankle, arms reaching out, aligned with the floor. And when you're seeing what you need to see on the screen, let your gaze rest at the middle finger in front of you. So do you feel lost? Sometimes our emotions, our feelings can take us on huge detours. And maybe we get lost. And we need to find our way home. And sometimes we need to speak to our feelings, saying, what is the truth? Maybe the feelings are not always speaking the truth. Windmill the arm around, finding the floor, back heel off, step the feet, front foot back to meet the other, downward facing dog. As this will be an somewhat easy video, I'll just guide you into a plank on your toes or your knees and then back into a table or downward facing dog, tabletop or downward facing dog. And then back, down dog. Straight spine, maybe bended knees. Doing these postures on the other side, and we can start here. You're going to bring your right leg to the front, so either just kind of helping the foot along the way or whatever you want to do. High lunge. So your right foot is at the front, left is back, and again just shorten the distance here if it's just a little bit too much for some reason. And try to bring your awareness to the lower part of your spine, your lumbar spine. Is it kind of tucked back? Does it not feel that good? Or could you maybe pull a little bit in your pelvis a little bit and maybe feel the stretch here a little bit more if you do that? And then we're going to go for that twist. Again, just use the block. Left hand down. Doesn't need to be close to the front foot. Maybe like a hip width distance or something like that. And then right leg or right arm up. Still bending the front right leg. And push the hand that's on the floor down into the floor, and maybe the shoulder here. Maybe you need to take the shoulder girdle a little bit back to engage the back of the shoulder and not kind of hanging in the joint. Bring the arm around. Gonna do that triangle pose where you turn the back foot around so your heels are somewhat aligned. Back foot aligned with the short end of the mat. Extend the front leg and try to get the whole body in aligned with the back heel. Now, if you automatically think you have to get this front hand down, don't. Most people who can get their hands down don't have their pelvis in line with their hip. So bring the hand up and kind of push the pelvis underneath yourself here. And warrior two. So again, pulling the front leg, stacking it over the ankle, shorten or widen the distance again in between the feet. Arms out, gaze towards the front hand. Finding home can also be that thought about finding purpose in life. Finding that place where you feel safe, where you feel you can manage things. Doesn't have to be easy, but that you have a purpose in life. And I do believe that God has a purpose and a calling for every single one of us. And it's not about how great we are at different things or our competences. It's nothing to do with that. Thank God. Downward facing dog. So I'm slowly bringing my hands down, taking the back heel off, stepping back, down dog. Maybe you want to kind of wave yourself into a plank. Again, toes or knees, what works for you. And your down dog. And again, plank. And this time you're going to bring your knees down and find tabletop. If you need any padding underneath your knee joints, maybe you have a blanket or you can fold the mat, whatever way works best for you. Bring the right leg back, the toes are pointing down, and your left leg or left arm to the front. And just stay put here with the core engaged, so you're not leaning into the belly. Bring the knee in, align it with the other knee, and then we're going to thread the needle. So this left arm that you have already out at the front, you're going to bring it up for a bit of a twist, and then take the nails and bring those nails down on the floor. I'm going to show you in this direction, and then I'm going to show you in the other direction if you can't see really what's going on. So I'm bringing my left shoulder down. Now the right arm can do actually whatever works. So you're going to stay here. I'm going to show you in the other direction. So you're still somewhat on your knees. And again, the other arm doesn't have to do anything, just moving it away. So you might feel a stretch at the back of the left arm that you've kind of threaded under the armpit there. Gaze towards the hand you have threaded under. All right, coming up on your knees again. If you feel you need to release anything from your knees, you can always take a down dog and kind of shake things out. If you're good, left leg back, right hand to the front, and let's stay here for a moment. elongating from the back heel towards the thumb. And it's harder than it looks to stay here. You might feel that. Knee down. If you feel anything in your lower back, maybe you need to work on your core. Gonna come back to that. Right arm up, and then again threading the needle the other direction. So most people I know like to take this front arm that is not threaded behind them, and it feels like a deeper twist because you kind of bring that shoulder up and back, but whatever works for you. So is faith in God, does that make you feel at home, or does it make you feel at work? I truly believe that God is calling us home first. And then once in a while, we're going to go out on work and do good. But we need to have that sensation of being at home first. I hope you, like me, are coming out of your thread the needle posture and then getting yourself down on your back. I'm almost about to wrap this class up. It was going to be short, but I want us to engage the core just a little bit. So you can bring your feet up here, somewhat 90-degree angle in your knee joint. Navel in, lumbar, lower part of the spine there in the mat. And then either stick one leg out like this, or a little bit more intense further towards the floor. So you decide exactly what you want to do. So one leg at the time. The idea is that the lower spine there is staying steady. The navel is in. Arms can be on the side or whatever works for you, maybe behind the head even. So do one more on each side. Bring your feet down. I call it butterfly pose. Sole of the feet together. Bring the knees out. And maybe your hands can rest here on the inside of the inner seam of the thighs, or maybe not. But try to relax. You can close your eyes and just breathe. We're going to stay here for a moment. So what part of your house, or whatever you call home, give you that really homey, safe, I am, nice, feeling good? It might be your couch, your bed, the kitchen, I don't know. But where do you feel the most at home, at ease? Bring the legs together. We're going to do spinal twist. Take the right leg and cross it over. If this variation is too much, you can just not do that. Just keep your legs stacked instead. But if you want to take the right leg on top, you're going to kind of roll onto your left side all the way out so that your legs can relax. So if this is too much, this is what it's going to look like instead. Okay? The top arm, bring it out on the floor or just hovering. Maybe your nose is pointing up. What would it be like to invite God or Jesus, the Holy Spirit, whatever terminology works for you, into your home? How would you feel if God, Jesus, was present right there? Some of you might say, "Ooh, that would be spooky." Some would say, "Oh, that would feel good." But just picturing Jesus as this safe, loving character that you can invite, right? Like the best friend you ever had. Release the spinal twist on that side, and of course we are gonna go on the other side as well. So crossing opposite leg, rolling onto the side. Make sure you breathe a lot. And then you can unroll to finding just resting pose, as I call it. Resting here on the floor. Just going to be a few moments. So release your legs, hands down on the floor. Maybe you want to have a blanket or something underneath your head if that feels better for your neck. You can close your eyes and try to maybe wiggle your body to kind of find that spot where it feels the most relaxing. And maybe in a moment, as I'll stay quiet, maybe you meditate on the fact that maybe you don't need to go out to look for God or Jesus or look for purpose. Maybe you can just stay at home, symbolically speaking, and invite God, Jesus, again, the terminology you want to use, into your home. It's from that safe space, it's from that home, from that rest. That you can be you and you can be whatever God has called you to be. So maybe say welcome. Open the door. And just be in God's presence. I will wrap up this class now. And if you're not ready to wrap it up, just pause the video and push play whenever you're ready. If you want to finish, you can again bring one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and just take 3 super deep breaths in and out. If you're done with that, in your heart you might pray with me. God, thank you for bringing me home whenever I'm lost. Help me to be who you want me to be. Grounded, safe, serving out of a feeling of being content at home. Amen.